Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no.
I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes.
This is what God wants you to do. No, this is not what God wants you to do. You go through all this. The devil give you all this money. Go through all this shit to destroy yourself. You destroy yourself. This is not God. All these singers, all these big rappers y'all look up to, they always tell you what the good part about, but they never tell you what the bad part. And that's crazy, man. Yeah, they got all this money, but they dealing with emo spirits. They dealing with themselves.
Okay, everybody copy. 2020, but I can't see nobody.
Houston, Dallas. Play whatever you want to play, baby.
That happened to me. I just don't even want to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Some days those girls next to me woke up. Some days he was in the bed.
These celebrities are shaking in their boots right now after Katt Williams decided to close out the year by exposing all the folks Diddy recorded at those freak-offs. No, I'm not talking about Beyonce or Jay-Z. These are never-heard-before names that will have you gagging for days. And the worst part is that some of these tapes are allegedly getting auctioned around Hollywood to TMZ and other blogs. And y'all know how these bloggers move. They won't keep it to themselves. Just like how CNN leaked that hotel CCTV footage of Diddy putting his hands on Cassie, it's being reported that once these freak-off tapes are sold off, we'll be seeing them leak all over social media. 2026 is going to be a long year for these freaky celebrities who are getting down and dirty with the diddler. So who exactly are these people? And why is Katt just bringing it up now? Let's get into it. Okay, so the first person Katt dragged for filth was Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba got dragged into this when he got name-dropped Lil Rod's lawsuit against Diddy. Lil Rod claimed in his suit that he was repeatedly taken advantage of by Diddy in Miami. Apparently, Diddy tricked him into coming under the guise that he wanted them to work on his album, but it turns out he had other plans the whole time. The lawsuit read, throughout his time living with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was the victim of constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus by Mr. Combs. Lil Rod later amended his lawsuit with even more incriminating evidence, and that's when he dragged Cuba Jr. into it. He said in January 2023, he was also essayed by Cuba after Diddy invited Cuba over to his yacht for a party. Cuba thought Lil Rod was a paid so he approached him for a freak-off. The lawsuit stated, Cuba Gooding Jr. began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones's legs, his upper inner thighs near his groin, the small of his back near his buttocks, and his shoulders. Mr. Jones was extremely uncomfortable and proceeded to lean away from Mr. Gooding Jr. He rejected his advances, and Mr. Gooding Jr. did not stop until Mr. Jones forcibly pushed him away. So when we heard Cuba Gooding Jr. was wrapped up in this mess, a lot of people were like, yeah, that makes sense. Because here's the thing, this man is already facing multiple SA charges from several women who've accused him of SA. Like, we already knew about that. But what people didn't know was that he was allegedly doing the same thing to men, too. Now, Cuba was obviously asked about these allegations, and surprise, surprise, he denied everything. But wait, it gets better. This man literally started quoting Bible verse, trying to convince everyone that these allegations are fake. He had the nerve to pull the celebrity card, claiming this was just Lil Rod trying to get a payday and drag his name through the mud. Sir, multiple people have come forward. The math isn't mathing. But okay, go off, I guess.
God's will be done.
Very dark times these past few years. So, but Cuba, so how's your faith? How has it helped you through those dark times?
It's one of those things where I know that I'm here for a reason. And I know that as long as I do what I do and I'm good at what I do, and I'm passionate about what I do.
For example, was mentioned in the Diddy case.
Which was the most ridiculous thing ever.
Because you barely know
This is the
right?
most ridiculous thing ever. But again, welcome to being a celebrity. Welcome to my work.
Now here's where it gets really messy. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, sat down with The Art of Dialogue and basically said, yeah, everything Rod said about Cuba is facts. Gene claimed he literally witnessed Cuba doing this type of stuff back when he was working for Diddy. Like, he saw it with his own eyes. He said Cuba has this disgusting pattern where he specifically targets people he thinks he can manipulate. And just when we thought this situation couldn't get any messier, Cuba's own brother decided to speak out. And honey, he did not come to defend him.
And me looking at this lawsuit, he's also, alleging that he met Cuba Gooding Jr. through Diddy on Diddy Yacht. And it even got to a point where he started touching him on his, upper inner thigh near his groin, according to him.
Did you see the picture?
Nah, I didn't get to see it, but
Oh my God. Yo, listen to me, man. I don't know if it was what they call it when you take two pictures and they put it together and stuff like that. What they call it when they put the pictures together and it don't belong together, but they put it together. Whatever,
side by side.
Yeah, whatever they call that. Cuban Gooding Jr. was so close to that man. I would thought that was his lady. That's how close he was to him. And then his hands all on his leg and everything. It was crazy, bro. I don't even believe that. So when you see Cuba Gooding fighting a case here in New York, when he said the girl was saying that he was groping her and everything like that, I'm glad they didn't show that picture at his trial. Because he would have been guilty. That's how close he was to that kid, man.
So you seeing on pictures, do you believe his claims?
Yeah, I believe his claims. If somebody put something in Cuba Gooding Jr. ear that this was fresh meat, or see can you break him, or see can you do something? Because don't no other man be that close to no other man, for that reason. Come on, bro. That's crazy.
I'm going to listen to what I say. I'm the little baby brother in his eyes. I could be 37, 47, or 57. I'm still the baby brother. That's just kind of how my family is. Just keeping it a buck. Even though my mom wants, oh, y'all should be together. Oh, why don't you call him? Why? People don't understand this. It's kind of like when women ask their men, how is so-and-so? And we go, well, he's fine. No, but what happened with the scandal and blah, 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 blah. I don't know, we was out hanging.
But it gets even crazier from here, y'all, because Cuba wasn't the only one Lil Rod exposed in his lawsuit. He also spilled major tea about Young Miami's involvement with Diddy. And baby, her trifling tale was out here doing the absolute most. It turns out she was getting paid over $250,000 a month and receiving multiple gifts every week just to be his girlfriend for her role in Diddy's mess. So get this. Lil Rod said that back in 2022, Diddy and Young Miami set him up at some fancy all-white Thanksgiving party. Apparently, when he went into the bathroom to get himself together after having too many spiked drinks, Young Miami's cousin allegedly burst into the bathroom while he was inside, at which point she allegedly started groping him and performing oral acts on him that he never asked for or wanted. The lawsuit continues. Lil Rod said that he tried to push her away and left the restroom, only to then be followed by Miami's cousin, who then allegedly undressed and attempted to straddle him and have sex with him in front of Diddy. Now this is where things get even more interesting, because he said Young Miami was among those who were paid a monthly fee by Diddy to work as his workers. Robin Greenhill, the accountant, would ensure the wiring, funds transfer, or cash payments to ex-workers. Frankie Santella, Moy Bond, Brendan Paul, and KK would also be responsible for ensuring payment to workers in cash. Young Miami, Jade, and Daphne Joy were paid a monthly fee to work as Mr. Combs' ex-workers and received payment via wire transfer from Robin Greenhill, which outlined defendants' ongoing criminal operation. And of course, we cannot talk about Diddy's accomplices without bringing up Stevie J. Stevie J was one of the people who was very loud about his support for Diddy, even when Diddy was at the peak of his downfall. But it wasn't too long before we understood why he was standing 10 toes down behind him. Turns out that Diddy wasn't just his friend, that was his man. And apparently, he even opened his cheeks up to Diddy a couple of times at those freak-offs. In Lil Rod's lawsuit, he also exposed Stevie J, claiming that Diddy bragged about having engaged in a freak-off with Stevie J. Apparently, Stevie did this thinking that Diddy was going to help him get a Grammy. And the worst part is, Lil Rod also said Diddy literally showed him a video of him getting it in with Steve. It's unclear if Steve knew he was being recorded, but baby, this definitely explained why he was riding so hard for Diddy.
Whatever someone does in their bedroom, that's what they do. I don't got nothing to do with that. I'm just here to say that I've never seen my man doing anything foul like they talking about.
None of it. All of it. I mean, you know.
I've never seen it. I've known him for 29 years. And then it's like with guys like 50, you know what I'm saying? Like Uncle Tom cats like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you want to put me, I don't know if y'all saw the poster with 50 posted.
Anyway, people did some more digging and they found out that Diddy was allegedly touching Usher, and he might have been involved too. Initially, he was a victim, but he later joined in on the entire operation as well. So for those of y'all who don't know, Usher moved in with Diddy when he was 14 for mentorship, but everything else happened except for the actual mentorship. These rumors got worse when an email from one of the publishers of Kim Porter's book leaked online, talking about Diddy giving Usher an STD. The email read, "Some of the things in the book cover Diddy's gay relationships, footage of those encounters, the men he slept with, STDs, Diddy giving Usher an STD, and the explosive encounter between Diddy and Usher's mom." To make matters even worse, Usher was sued by a woman back in 2017 for allegedly giving her herpes. According to her, Usher exposed her to herpes during their encounters, and that he didn't tell her he had been diagnosed with herpes in 2009. She claims she tested positive after experiencing symptoms and reading online reports of Usher's alleged diagnosis. And of course, a lot of people feel like Diddy probably gave him the herpes when he was a kid. During an interview with The Art of Dialogue, Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Deal got into some seriously disturbing details about things he personally witnessed between Diddy and Usher. According to Gene, Diddy was doing crazy things with Usher, and at one point, they had to rush Usher to the hospital. He even went as far as name-dropping the exact hospital Usher was rushed to. Gene didn't specify what exactly Diddy did to Usher that led to him being admitted to the hospital, but people believe it has something to do with Diddy giving Usher an STD.
Usher did have a situation, and that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now, I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. Let Usher mama explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York.
But Gene wasn't done with Usher just yet. He also put him on blast for not speaking up against Diddy and allowing him to get away with the things he has done, despite knowing the kind of person Diddy is. He said he acknowledges the fact that Usher is a victim, but he doesn't respect the fact that Usher has decided to remain silent when he can easily go to the police and tell them everything he knows.
But how dare you say a man that groomed you gonna give him a pass? And a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp. Y'all put it together.
And what you mean by Diddy camp?
Remember? He was on one of the talk shows, the white guy with the curly hair. What's his name? The white guy with the curly hair. And he said, "Yo, would you send your son to Diddy camp?" And Usher said, no. Ask him why he won't send him to Diddy camp. But yet and still you praise him.
Anyway, moving on, we also need to get into the alleged mess involving Diddy and Burna Boy. Burna and Diddy first worked together in 2020 when Diddy was credited as an executive producer for Burna's 5th studio album, Twice as Tall. Interestingly enough, this album went on to win a Grammy, making it Burna's first ever Grammy. Coincidence? Well, folks don't think so.
Yes. What's up, boy?
Triple, quadruple.
What the f?
Flesh.
Good.
In the f***ing flesh.
What's up, dude?
Got so much to tell you, man.
Welcome home.
It's almost as if Burna knew folks were going to catch up to what he really did to get that Grammy. Because on one of the songs on the album called Real Life, he was seemingly debunking ever getting intimate with a man. The lyrics read, "If you never hear my story, make you find out. I know say nobody is an island, but if them want F you for nyash, make you no lie down." Now, for those of y'all confused about what nyash is, it basically means butt in Nigerian pidgin. Baby, they even leaked a disturbing audio alleged to be Diddy and Burna, in which Burna was screaming as Diddy clapped his cheeks.
Take that pain.
Now moving on to Katt Williams, people weren't surprised that he came out to put this on blast, because one thing he has always been clear about is that he doesn't like the fact that Diddy allegedly takes advantage of these young men. In fact, he said that back in the day, Diddy offered him over $50 million, not once, not twice, not thrice, to indulge in some wondering why exactly Diddy would offer Katt such a huge amount of money that many times. Well, it turns out that Diddy was trying to recruit Katt to be a power bottom for his freak-off party. Had their own thoughts, like this person who said, Katt Williams told us over 20 years ago what goes on at the parties in Hollywood. Another person said, Diddy is a destroyer and not a builder. It's like anything he touches, he destroys. He destroys the young artists psychologically, mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. And these young men are the ones with the talent. Diddy just used them to stay relevant, because he influences the music industry. I can imagine how excited they were to meet Diddy, not knowing it's going to be their nightmare. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Katt Williams exposing all these people for letting Diddy touch them? And don't really believe there are really freak-off tapes of these people out there? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.